Okay, guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to talk about telling the truth. Now, um, so let me ask you something. Like to start it off, have you ever lied and it felt small at first, but later it started to grow? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it has happened to me before. Um, and I think it hasn't happened to you. If not, then I don't know. I mean, because we're all sinners, and obviously we lie. Every single one of us has lied before. And obviously, it feels small at first because you're like, phew, I just got saved from being in trouble. But then later, when you realized it and thought about it even more, it grew and grew and grew. I feel like we have been through that. A lot of times, actually, multiple times. So not just the lie itself, but the weight that you carry in your shoulders every time you lie. Because the truth is, lying doesn't just change what others believe; it changes who you become. So we usually think lying is just saying something that's not true, that's false. But it's way deeper than that. Lying is when your words and your heart don't match. Um, it's when you hide, when you pretend, and when you twist reality just to protect yourself. So, we're gonna ask here a question that we're like, well, that's super simple to like answer, but it's way deeper than what you think. Why do we lie? Not we don't lie because we're always bad. Sometimes we lie because we're scared. Scared of getting in trouble, scared of being judged, or scared of disappointing people. Sometimes we lie because we want to look better. So let me give you an example here. Your friend and like almost the whole school has this very popular toy that they recently like bought it. And your friend asks you, uh, do you have this toy? And you're like, yes, I do. It's just at my house, and I just can't bring it. I'm not allowed to. Pause. Okay, you have it, but why are you not allowed to bring it to school? I mean, probably the toy is like small, and I don't know. So that's where your friends are like, wait, why can't you just bring it to school? Like, isn't that like some common sense? Like, obviously, if you have something new, you're gonna want to show your friends. So that's where you start lying. First of all, you said that you do have it. Do you? No, you don't. Second, you said it's at your house. So that's just a bigger lie. Third, you say you're not allowed to bring it. Like, what kind of an excuse did you just make? So it's like there's stuff that we're scared to like disappoint your friends or like be embarrassed because you didn't have it. But I mean, it feels you. It like makes you look like cooler and like feel like it makes you look even better than what you actually are. And sometimes we lie because it's easier. But easier does not mean better. So, now we're going to talk about what lying does to us. Every time you lie, something happens inside you. Every single time you lied. you felt something in your heart. At first, your heart feels it. You know that feeling, that little voice saying that wasn't right. It wasn't right to lie. But if you keep ignoring it, the voice gets quieter. Until one day, it disappears from your head. And you don't hear it anymore. So it's at that point where you like way too much that little voice is not there anymore. And that's dangerous. That is dangerous because now you're not just lying. You're becoming a person who is okay with lying. And we don't want that. No, we don't. We want to stay aware of when we're lying and when we have to tell the truth. So lies don't just stay small. They build walls. They build walls between you and your parents, between you and your friends, and between you and God. Because the truth, when you tell the truth, it connects you. But if you lie, it separates you from those people. If someone lies to you, it breaks your trust with them, right? I mean, obviously, because you're like, oh, I thought I could trust this person. I thought I could count on them. But then they lie and they're like, and you're like, man, who was I counting on this whole entire time? So it breaks the trust between you and whoever, like your friends, or I mean, it could be anyone. But now imagine that. Just imagine that with your whole life. One lie leads to another, and another, and another, until you're not living in truth anymore. You're living in a story you created with just telling lies over and over and over again just to get out of trouble. That is dangerous indeed. Okay, so now let's be real. Telling the truth is not always easy. Yes, I know that. I've been in situations where I've been in situations where I have the choice of either telling the truth or lying. And it's not easy to always tell the truth, because sometimes when we tell the truth, we can always get into a consequence, and we don't want that consequence. But if you lie, you're gonna get into a bigger consequence. So you might get in trouble, you might feel embarrassed, or you might lose something. But here's the truth about the truth. It sets you free. It sets you free from that burden, that weight that you've been carrying on your shoulders. When you tell the truth, you don't have to remember your lies, you don't have to pretend, and you don't have to hide anymore. You can just be real. And there's power in that. So now we're going into what God says about truth. The Bible is very clear about truth. In Proverbs 12:22 says, lying lips are an Lying lips are an abomination. Whoa, that's a big word. But those who act faithfully are his delight. You guys can just look it up. It's Proverbs 12:22. What the verse is saying is that God doesn't just care about what you say. He cares about your heart and what emotions you're feeling right now in your heart. And in John 8:32 it says, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Not trap you, not shame you, but free you. So now we're getting into the situation where it's like, okay, what if I already lied? Now, maybe you're watching this right now and you're like, well, I already lied a lot. Listen carefully. You're not stuck. But you do have a choice. We always have a choice. You can keep covering it up, or you can face it. And yet, telling the truth after lying is harder, but it's also where the healing part and the place begins. Sometimes that means saying I lied, or I'm sorry, or I was wrong, and that takes courage, real courage. It takes a lot of courage for you to say, hey, I lied, or hey, I didn't tell the truth. I wasn't being honest with you. And that's not easy, guys. It's not easy to do that. Trust me. So telling the truth is not just a decision, it's a battle. It's a battle you're going through. With lying, it's a battle between truth and lying. Every day you'll have moments where lying feels easier than telling the truth, where no one would know, where it seems harmless. But those are the moments that define you. Because character isn't built in big moments, it's built in small places, small choices, over and over again. So now ask yourself, who do you want to be? Someone who hides, or someone who stands in truth? Someone people can't trust, or someone whose words actually mean something? Because your words, they build your future. They shape your life. All the choices you make throughout the day will determine your future. And then obviously that depends on the choices that you make. So they shape your life. So here's the reality. You don't become honest right away. You don't become honest that fast, no. But every time you choose truth, you become stronger. Every time you tell the truth when it's hard, you become more free. So the next time you're about to lie, pause, think, and choose the truth. Even if it costs you something. Because in the end, truth just doesn't destroy your life. It saves it. Once you tell the truth, yeah, you're going to get a consequence for doing whatever you did. But at least that weight is not on your shoulders anymore. It frees you from that weight, from the burden. So be real, be honest, and be free. If you want to be free, you gotta be honest. And if you're gonna be honest, you gotta be real. So there you go. Be real, be honest, and be free. Just saying, guys. And I know. We're all sinners. Telling the truth is not easy. But sometimes we just gotta do what we gotta do. We have to tell the truth in order to be free. And if you want to be free, think about what you're going through. If you're in a situation, just think, okay, what will happen to me if I tell the lie? What will happen to me if I tell the truth? So that's questions you should be asking yourself. What will happen if I tell the lie or if I tell the truth? So just think. And again, be real, be honest, and be free. So please, guys, try to tell the truth every moment of your life. And obviously, we're not going to be that perfect like Jesus, who always told the truth. But at least we can try. We can always try. And sometimes we're just going to have to lie because that's how we are. We're sinners. But, we can always ask ourselves, and if you lied, always tell the truth after. If you lied to someone, you can say, sorry, I lied, or I was wrong, I'm so sorry. But at least you're covering it up with the truth. At least you're like getting rid of it and being free from that feeling in your heart that you told a lie. But that's gone away because you just told the truth. So always try to tell the truth, guys. And just remember, this is, I think, my third time saying it. Be real, be honest, and be free. See you guys.